Hi, it's Kim from Chatterbox Quilts. You know, when I first got my Singer 221 and 222 featherweight machines, I thought that would be it for the collection of the vintage sewing machines. But obviously, I was wrong. You know, these machines first attracted me because of their looks. The styling on them, it's great, isn't it? Look at that shiny black finish, the gold decals, the chrome on them. I mean, how could you not want to have these in your studio? And in addition, while I first was attracted by the good looks, I really come to appreciate their sturdiness, the quality of their stitches, and the accessories that come with these machines. And I also enjoy the fact that I feel like I'm preserving some history. You know, these machines are 50 to 60 years old and they're still going strong. And I feel like I'm keeping them out of the trash bin. And that's exactly what I was doing with the next machine that I got. I saw an ad on Kijiji for a Singer 310 model sewing machine. Now, I was pretty sure that there wasn't a 310 model, and I was hoping it was a 301, but I didn't know for sure. And by the time I got to see this ad, it had been up for several days, and over 200 people looked at it. I was pretty sure it'd be gone. But I had to check it out because, you know what? The price was the best ever. Free. So I called up the seller. He said it was still there when he checked that morning in the back alley. Back alley? Okay. So I rushed over to see, and there was the cabinet. Of course, the machine was tucked down inside. And we opened it up, and yes, it was a Singer 301. So I was thrilled. My husband and I packed it into the van and got home with it. And of course, I really didn't know what shape it was really in. I could see a bit about it, but it came with this cabinet in great shape. I already had a cabinet like this, only in a different color, a lighter tone than this one. But it had the drawers with it. It had everything that usually would come with them. It had the manual with it. The original manual, that was great. You know, the familiar green attachment box, attachments. And it also had the button holder with the manual. So that was great. So I was really pleased to get it home, but didn't know if it would actually work or not. I mean, it had everything I needed on it, missing the tension assembly, but I figured I could get around that one. But I wouldn't know if it would work until I got it home and plugged it in. And when I got it home, it was quite dirty. The cabinet was dirty, the machine was dirty, and as you can see, it was this nice beige color, or a tan color, so you could really see the dirt on it. So it was so dirty, actually, my husband wouldn't let me bring it into the house until I cleaned it up. So I spent several hours cleaning the cabinet and the machine. I washed the cabinet with Murphy's oil soap to get it clean. And then I went to work on the sewing machine with sewing machine oil. And I managed to get it fairly clean, much better than it was for sure. Then I could bring it into the house. And once I got in the house, I needed to see if it would work at all because I really didn't know if it would work at all, if the motor ran or anything. So it was missing the upper tension assembly. That was okay, I could deal with that later, but first I needed to know if the motor was going to run. So, plugged it in, moment of truth, turned the light on, yay, it came on, there was even a light bulb still in it, and then it works with a knee lever, so I pressed the knee lever and the machine ran great. So I was thrilled. Yes, it actually worked, and of course, as I say, without the upper tension assembly, I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to be able to stitch with it. And I sort of had parts of the tension assembly, in a little baggie, but there was about 4 pieces missing, so I knew I'd have to get an entire tension assembly. So I turned to Arcane, my friend in Edmonton, and she suggested to look at bonanza.com, and there was actually a whole tension assembly there that would fit on this machine in the right color. So I ordered it for about $20, got it in, and then I followed Arcane's YouTube video about reassembling a tension assembly. And she has a great video. Check in the comments below for the link to that video. And I followed her step-by-step instructions, and I managed to put it on. And so then, of course, I could see whether this machine would actually form a stitch or not. And guess what? It sure did. So I have another 301. This one is a 301A, which means that it was made in Anderson, South Carolina. And it is just as good as my other one, even though it's a bit of a rescue baby. So I was thrilled to pick this machine up. The only issue with this package that I got, the cabinet and the machine, was that there were some white marks on the cabinet. There was some in this area, some further out on the other side here as well. They were quite white, And I think that they were caused perhaps by rainwater because the machine had been sitting out for 4 or 5 days out in the back alley, and we did have rain during that time. In any event, I couldn't get them off. So I knew I was going to have to use another product than what I had been using to clean the cabinet to get these white marks out. When I bought my Singer 401 machine, the seller there was telling me about some products she used to help restore the color and finish on wood furniture that she had. So I thought maybe that would do the trick. First product is Howard Restore Finish. This helps to fill in the scratches, restores the color to the wood furniture. After you've restored that finish, you're going to want to protect it. So I use Howard Feed and Wax to protect the color that you've brought back to that finish. So what you use to get out the kind of white marks that I had on here was a very fine steel wool product. You actually just apply the Restore Finish right to the steel wool, rub it over the spot with the grain of the wood, of course, until the white spot's gone. So actually it worked great. I mean, you would not believe how different this cabinet looks now from what it was when we first got it. Took the white marks right out or substantially diminished them, so I was thrilled. And then of course I put the Feed and Wax over top to protect it, and it gives it this beautiful glossy finish. You wouldn't even know what the cabinet looked like when I first got it, how different it is now from when I first got it. So I was thrilled with those products, so I highly recommend these if you're looking for a product to help restore that luster and color to your wood products. And of course, I've been using it on my other sewing machine cabinets too.